Let's do another simple video on a formula in Excel. This time let's do average. So equals average. So if you have something like this, I have the orders we've taken in each day for the past month, and I want to know, last time we'd use this to do sum. This time, instead of totaling how many orders we had over the whole month, I want the average per day. Well, now I can use a formula called equals average. So again, I like to type my formulas in. There's some different types of average formulas. If you want to learn some of those, we can do a video on that another day. Generally, I just use this one, but sometimes things like average if or average ifs can be very helpful if you have particular times you want it to take averages. And just like any other formula, once you have it typed in, you put the parenthesis, and then it's going to ask for what to take the average of, basically. And again, you can type it in, or you can start typing average and double click on average and it'll bring it up, or you can go down to average, hit tab, and it'll do that same thing. You can also do it through the formulas here if you really want to, though it's slow, so I don't tend to recommend people use the formula tab. But anyway, you just equals average, then you got to tell it the range of numbers to take the average of. In this case, we want to start at B2. We want to go down to B32, so we just type that in, B2 colon B32. That's one way to do it. Is B2 to B32 just by typing it in. If you don't like typing, although that's sometimes the fastest, so I recommend it a lot. You can just click and drag, but if you have thousands of things, this takes a while. But you'll see it'll end up the same, B2 to B32. And again, none of it's case sensitive or anything like that. You can also use your arrows on your keyboard. So if you just hit up when you're, see how my cursor average, open parenthesis, my cursor's right there. If I hit up, let me start over because right now it's confused. Escape equals average, open parenthesis. Oh, it helps if I could type. Average, open parenthesis, up. It'll jump up to B32, and then if I just hold Control Shift up, it'll jump up and grab the rest of them. And again, B1 to B32 or B2 to B32 will get you the same answer here. It'll ignore orders since it can't use that. It's not a number. But any of those should get you 88.74 as your answer. And that's generally what we're going to do equals average with. Now, if you have data like this, where you want to grab over multiple columns, it's exactly the same thing. What the colon in here does, right? So this is what we generally use as the colon because we want to set up a range of cells to take the average of. It just tells us the split here. So this is the top left cell, and this is the bottom right cell, and then we want to average everything between those two cells. So if I want to do it here where I'm at B2, I'm just going to hit Control down and then over, and I want to go all the way down to G183. So I can do this the same way, equals average, B2 colon G183. And that'll grab that whole chunk. You'll see it's all highlighted, right? So it's going to grab the entire rectangle with this being the top left and this being the bottom right. And it's going to tell me the average sale, what was this, week? All right, so these are the weeks for the different sales reps. The average week was 5,608 per week. I would assume dollars in this case. So that sort of thing. Now, if you don't want to grab all 6, in this case, we have 6 different sales reps. You can also, instead of just using colons, you can also use commas. So if you do anything like this and you hit commas, if I start clicking things and then hitting comma, click, comma, click, comma, click, comma, it'll just sum the average of these 3 things, or these 4 things, or these 5 things, etc. So you could also do like, I want the average of sales rep 1 and sales rep 3, which would be B2 to B183 colon D2 to D183. So again, commas are how to grab data that's separate. Colon grabs everything in a big chunk. And that's the main thing with any of these formulas, is just kind of understanding how to set up your ranges. So nice simple formula, equals average, handy to have. We'll talk about another formula next time.